Hello everyone, my name is Aditi Soni. I am currently a full stack web developer student at Alma Better, and today I am really excited to present my backend development project. Now I am sharing my screen. This is the backend project of an e-commerce application, just like any real online shopping website. The backend play a critical role in handling the product, managing the user, storing favorite, and ensure smooth communication with the database. For this project, I use Node.js and Express.js for creating the server and handling API requests. MongoDB Atlas as the cloud database, so store and manage product and user related data. Mongoose as the object data modeling library to connect Node.js with MongoDB. Swagger UI for documentation so that API can be tested and explored easily. Postman for manual testing of all the routes. First, I create config folder. Inside config folder, I create db.js file. This is my db.js file code. This file is responsible for connecting the backend server to the MongoDB database. MongoDB is a NoSQL database that stores data in JSON like documents. We use Mongoose, which is an object data modeling library for Node.js. Mongoose allow you to define a schema for your data and provide an easy interface for CRUD operation. In this file, we define an asynchronous function that tries to connect to MongoDB using the connecting strings stored in the .env file. This is important for keeping sensitive information like database credentials secure. If the connection is successful, the console logs a confirmation message. If it fails, the server will stop running to prevent error from occurring in other part of the app. This file essentially ensures that the backend will not start unless it has a proper connection to the database, which is critical for an e-commerce app because all product cart and favorite operations depend on the database. This is my another folder controllers. Inside controllers, I will create three files: cart controller.js, favorite controllers.js, product controller.js. This is my cart controller.js file code. This file handles all operations related to the shopping cart, which is a core part of any e-commerce application. There are two main functions, one to fetch all items in the cart and another to add items to the cart. When fetching cart items, the system retrieves the product information associated with each cart item using a technique called populated, which replaces product reference with actual product details. When adding items, the controllers check if the product ID and quantity are valid, ensure the product exists in the database, and then either update the quantity if the item is already in cart or create a new cart item if it's new. The controller use try catch blocks to handling errors gracefully. This is essential because many things can go wrong, such as invalid product IDs or database connection errors. This file demonstrates business logic for card management, validation, error handling, updates, and integration with the database. This is my favorite controller.js file code. These controllers manage the favorites feature of the e-commerce app, allowing user to save products they like for later. It has two main functions, one to fetch all favorite products and one to add a product to favorites. The controllers ensure that duplicate entries are not allowed, meaning a product cannot be added to favorite more than once. Similar to the card controller, it is used populated to display full product details instead of just the product ID. It also validates input and handle errors gracefully, ensure a smooth experience for the front end. This file demonstrates how to manage reference between connections in MongoDB, which is important for relationships like favorites without duplicate product data. This is product controller.js file code. This file manages all product related operations, including listing all products, filtering by category, and seeding dummy products for testing. The list function retrieves all products from the database and returns them to the front end. The filters function allows the user to view products by category, such as electronics or clothing. This is a key feature for an e-commerce store. The seeds function is used to populate the database with predefined dummy products. Before inserting, it's clear the old products to prevent duplication. This controller demonstrates important backend concept data base querying, filtering, data seeding, and preparing a data set for testing and deployment. It, it's also a good example of handling asynchronous operation using async, await, and error handling. This is my another folder, models. Inside a model folder, there are three files, card.js, favorite.js, and product.js. This is my card.js file code. This model defines the structure of card items in the database. Each card item store a reference to a product and a quantity. Using reference allows the card to fetch all product details dynamically instead of duplicating data. This model ensures data consistency and define concentrations such as required field and default quantity values. Understanding the card model is essential for implementation business logic like adding, updating, and removing items. This is my favorite.js file code. The favorite models store product that user mark as favorite. It contains only a reference to the product, which prevents duplicating full products detail in the favorite collection. This demonstrates the concept of relational data in a NoSQL database using reference between collection. The model also ensures that a favorite cannot exist without a valid product. This is my product.js file code. The product models define the structure for all products in the store. Fields including name, category, price, description, and image URL. Required fields enforce data validation, which prevents incomplete data from being saved. This model is the backbone of the e-commerce app because all carts and favorite operations rely on products being correctly defined. This is my another folder, roots. Inside a roots, there are three files, card roots.js, favorite roots.js, product root.js. This is my card roots.js file code. Maps HTTP request related to the card controller function. Get request, fetch card item, post request, add item. This file demonstrates how RESTful routing work in Express.js and organize endpoints cleanly. This is favorite routes.js file code. Similar to card routes, this file connected the favorite endpoints to their controller functions. Get request, fetch all favorites, post requests, add new favorites. Proper routing ensure the API is structured and maintainable. This is product route.js file code. Handles all product related endpoints, includes get request for all products and by category, and post request to see dummy data. Demonstrate how RESTful API is handled data different operations in modular way. Provide integration points for the front end to fetch product data efficiently. This is my app.js file code. Initialize the Express server and middleware. Middleware includes course allow cross original request, Morgan login, and JSON parsing. Integrated all routes, product card favorites into the main app. Sets all Swagger for API documentation, allowing developers to interact with endpoints through a web interface. Define a route that server as a welcome page. This file is central for server configuration and API documentation. This is my index.js file code. It starts the server and ensure the database connection is established first. If the database fails to connect, the server will not start, preventing runtime errors. Use async await for asynchronous operations. Demonstrate a safe startup flow for production ready application. This is my packet.json's file code. Define project metadata dependency and scripts. Dependencies include Express, Mongoose, Core, Morgan, .NET, Swagger. Scripts allow starting the server normally or with nodemon for automatic restart during development. This file is critical for managing the project environment and dependencies. Then first I open my terminal and run command. You can see here in the terminal it says server is running on port and MongoDB connected, which means my backend is up and is running successfully. Now I'm copy this and paste on browser. Now I open my Swagger UI by visiting http localhost 8080/API docs. Swagger UI automatically generate API documentation for all my routes. Here you can see different endpoints for product, card, and favorite. This interface allows me to test API directly without using Postman. So first, I test Post API product seeds. Try it out, then execute. See, message dummy product added count and successfully. Now I check second, get API product. Try it out, execute it. Here are my product I list successfully. Here I'll copy the ID of the smartphone to test card and favorite. Copy anyone ID. I copied this ID. Now I am testing post API card. Try it out. Now I paste my ID here. Then execute. See the product added. Product added to the cart successfully. Now I check get API product. Try it out. Execute it. Now see I added this to my cart. Now testing post API favorite. Try it out. Now I paste ID and quantity. Executed. See product added to favorite successfully. Now get API favorite. Try it out. Execute it. See this is added in favorite. Now I testing get API product categories. Try it out. If I check books. Execute it. Now see there are two items. So this is my live server testing. I I will testing all the APIs. Thank you for watching. So that brings us the end of this project explanation. In this journey, we have successfully built the backend for an e-commerce application using Node.js, Express, and MongoDB Atlas. This starts by setting up the database connection with Mongoose, then move on to build models for product, cart, and favorite. Using controller, we define all actual business logic for handling API requests. With Express route, we neatly organize our endpoints, making the project clean and modular. We also integrated Swagger documentation, which is very useful for testing and understanding API in the professional way. This made our project production ready and easy for other developer to use. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you found it useful and informative.